Syrian rebels say they've captured an air defense post in the eastern province of Deir ez-Zor. These pictures were taken several days ago and are said to show fighters attacking the post with artillery mounted on trucks. Fighting is also intensified in several other cities, including Aleppo and Damascus.
New amateur video appears to show the Syrian city of Homs suffering fresh shelling. Elsewhere, rebels say they've seized an air defense facility and an airport in the east of the country, while the government claims it's fought off an attack on another airbase in Aleppo. This footage, said to have been filmed on Saturday, shows much of the northern town of Azaz reduced to rubble. Activists there claim they've been subjected to almost daily attacks by the regime.
"I do not fear death," shouts this Free Syrian Army fighter in Aleppo. This footage was shot over the last 3 days in the northern city. Here the rebels tape fuel canisters onto a rocket-propelled grenade. After many running street battles, the Free Syrian Army claims to control 70% of Aleppo. But Syrian state television said on the contrary that the regime had pushed the fighters out of Aleppo and seized many of their weapons.
Units from our brave forces prevented an infiltration attempt by terrorist groups in the Aleppo suburbs, killed dozens of them and confiscated their weapons.
CNN can't independently confirm this, but these images are said to show parts of the area absolutely reduced to rubble here, as you see. The new special envoy to Damascus says the violence in Syria has got to end. Lakhdar Brahimi says it must be replaced by some sort of political process.
All I need now is full and clear support from the Security Council as a group and as individuals, and that's what I already have. I do not need a resolution now. We may need resolutions later, but full and clear support is good enough for now to move on and deal on the ground with various parties.
Well, the conflict is sending hundreds of thousands of people fleeing from their homeland. The UN Refugee Agency says almost 229,000 Syrians so far have fled to 4 different neighboring countries. And, of course, they keep on coming as the situation gets worse. Some 1,400 Syrians are arriving every day at just one camp in Jordan. Tens of thousands have also fled into Lebanon, even Iraq. But it is Turkey taking in the most refugees.
Jordan hosts more than 180,000 Syrian refugees, the largest number in the region. The UN Refugee Agency's representative to Jordan, Andrew Harper, says that as the violence deepens in neighboring Syria, the numbers fleeing to Jordan are expected to increase, and more international help from donors is desperately needed.
We must do whatever is possible to facilitate Jordan absorbing not only the refugees that have come across thus far, but to absorb the ones who will be coming in the future.
Earlier this week, Jordan and the UN agencies issued a joint appeal for $429 million. It was not immediately clear why a new, higher figure is now being called for. It may be due to the sudden spike in refugees crossing the border from Syria. More than 5,000 entered Jordan in a 24-hour period recently.
There are around 140,000 Syrian refugees living in Jordan in cities and villages outside refugee camps. Are we going to reduce numbers of those entering? We've made this joint appeal with the UN agencies and other organizations to ensure we can continue providing humanitarian assistance to our Syrian brothers.
Both Jordan and the UN say no Syrians will be deported following a riot at the Zatari tent camp near the border on Tuesday. There have been 1,700 Syrian refugees who have returned home voluntarily over the course of the 18-month conflict.